The stages of listening to Boise State Public Radio podcasts. Step 1, testing the waters. You tune into an episode or two. Nothing too serious. Step 2, you got a little hooked on one of those series like Extremely American or Scandalized, and now you're binging. No judgment, but you did listen to it in one day. Step 3, now you're subscribed to a feed. You get notifications to your phone every time there's a new daily episode of The Connector or Idaho Matters. I see where this is going. Step 4, you realize how much time you're spending with Boise State Public Radio podcasts and the fact that it doesn't cost you a dime. Step 5, you decide to step up and support your podcast listening because you can, because you want to, not because you have to. All right, now's the time, you podcast fan you. Go to boisestatepublicradio.org and click donate to support your love of Boise State Public Radio podcast listening today.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. Today, we're bringing you the sounds of Yellow Pine, Idaho, a town in Valley County with a population of 32. That's according to the 2020 census. But every year, a weekend harmonica festival draws thousands to the village, multiplying its year-round population by 100 or more. The Mountain West News Bureau's Murphy Woodhouse attended the festival this past summer, and he brings us a taste of that unique event and a sense of what it means to the community.
How about John Fraser?
John Fraser, that's me.
John Fraser, harmonica suspended over his billowing white beard, shows up hungry for a shot at glory in the festival's signature competition. He takes a seat on the corner bar's porch, shaded from the hot, high noon sun at the north end of Yellow Pine's modest downtown.
If it keeps on raining, the levee's gonna break.
Opening with a Led Zeppelin medley, he soon has the audience in his hands. The judges, a panel of 3 accomplished harmonica players, watch quietly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Max Brobeck, sporting a flamboyantly painted pair of white overalls, soon takes the stage to give Fraser a run for his money. A tambourine starts up somewhere, and feet, including this reporter's, start stomping along. That's Deb Filler, outgoing festival director. Earlier, sitting on her front porch swing with musicians practicing nearby, she says the gathering traces its roots back to 1990. That's when then Idaho Governor Cecil Andrus called on communities to organize events in honor of the Gem State's centennial. They were supposed to be one-offs.
We are an unincorporated village, and that's why we continue to hold this festival, is because we have no tax base.
Mining used to be the lifeblood of Yellow Pine. That work slowed to a stop in the mid-1990s, but the festival's harmonica theme is a nod to that legacy.
Because the miners that used to be in this area always carried harmonicas in their pockets so they could have music.
Owners of the handful of Yellow Pine businesses say the festival is one of their best weeks. While the event, camping, and parking are all free, raffles, community meals, shirt sales, and other efforts bring in essential dollars for things like road and facility maintenance, insurance, and utilities. $10,000 is the goal.
Which doesn't sound like much, but it is for us.
We'll fake things. Hey, Bob, I see a bunch of drummer people, kind of percussion-y people in the crowd.
Twilight now hangs over the towering peaks at the north edge of Yellow Pine. The stage on that end of town glows in the spreading darkness. On a whim, Boise-based Lee Penn Sky invites percussionists from other acts up to play with him, in keeping with the festival's informal spirit. Doubled in size, the newly formed band catches its stride. A crowd of flailing dancers grows in front of the stage. One of them, Kaylin Wright, has come 3 years in a row and says she'll never miss another one.
Definitely come. It's a good time, and be weird and dance your ass off. And can I say that on the radio?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Contestants were Don Kern, Tim Malone.
Early Saturday afternoon, the moment of truth arrives. A set of harmonicas, stage time with a headliner, and a slot at next year's festival are on the line.
First place in the 2024 Yellow Pine Harmonica Contest, John Fraser.
John, who's been playing since the 70s, road trip with a friend all the way from San Diego.
I don't know how I'm going to get back up here next year.
He's hoping someone with a plane can fly him to the nearby airstrip. The harmonica is no idle pastime for John. He tears up talking about the people with whom he shares a reverence for it.
It's my family.
And you can watch the harmonica family grow in real time in Yellow Pine every year. Over at the community center, the newest generation of harmonica players is being formed. Robbie Kapp, a competition judge who has been to most festivals, welcomes a steady stream of kids, nearly 30 toddlers to preteens.
Black is my color.
Each is given a harmonica of their own.
We're going to try Mary Had a Little Lamb. We already sung it, so everybody knows it. Okay.
As with anything, you have to start somewhere. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Murphy Woodhouse.
That will do it for today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. I'll see you back here tomorrow. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. Enjoying the podcast? Tell some friends. And thanks for listening.
We could all use a little help navigating the news these days. The Consider This podcast wants to give you a hand. 6 days a week, we'll help you make sense of the day's biggest news story and what it means for you in less than 15 minutes. Listen now to the Consider This podcast from NPR.